Have you ever stopped to contemplate that your life, with all of its twists and turns, is no accident? You are not here by coincidence as one of God's chosen ones. From the time you took your first breath, the Creator planned your life with care and purpose. Your life has been a component of a magnificent masterpiece. Every challenge, success, and calm moment has a deeper significance than you may understand. If you believe your life is a part of something greater, comment 777 below to assert this reality in your life now. Thank you to everyone who has supported this channel through Super. I am so appreciative. Your unwavering kindness and charity reflect God's work in your life. And I can't thank you enough for supporting this mission. You are sowing seeds that will produce eternal fruit. And together, we are spreading His light to all corners of the planet. May God generously bless you for your continued love and faith. Now, allow me to ask you this. What if everything you've gone through, the heartbreaks, the successes, the seemingly trivial moments, was all part of a perfectly orchestrated plan? What if God has been using it all to prepare you for a destiny that you alone can fulfill? Consider understanding that even your current challenges are building stones for a larger mission. Intrigued? Stay with me, because what I'm going to impart will shift your viewpoint on life forever. Let's explore this astounding reality together. You will not want to miss what happens next. God's chosen ones. Your existence was planned. Something deep within you has been reawakened. An undeniable strength, presence, and force that cannot be ignored. You are no longer the same person you once were, and the entire globe senses it. Others' limits on you have removed, and the energy you now carry is powerful enough to move mountains. This is the moment when everything changes. This is the time when you fully embrace your divine calling. It's not simply a change. It is a revolution, and you are at its very heart. The world should be prepared. You have only recently began to walk in your purpose. Jesus remarked in Matthew 5:14, "You are the light of the world. A city located on a hill cannot be hidden." Have you ever considered the light within you? What is it like to walk knowing that your life is designed to shine brightly? The metamorphosis that is taking place within you like a city on a hill cannot be hidden. Your metamorphosis is unmistakable, like a beacon cutting through the darkness and illuminating all around you. This is not a brief flash of inspiration. This is a celestial awakening. The transformation you are undergoing is so profound that it alters not just how you see yourself, but also how others see you. Doubt, fear, and restrictions are no longer in control of you. These walls have been shattered. You've entered a place of unshakable power and unflinching purpose. With each stride, you go forward with clarity and confidence, motivated by something higher than yourself. Have you ever pondered what would happen if you truly accepted the power that God has put within you? Imagine how your life would change if you walked every day knowing you are capable of greatness. Do you believe God would enable you to feel the stirrings of such power without granting you the ability to achieve your purpose? This path is not about gaining praise from others or proving them wrong. The power that now guides you transcends individual opinions and disarms any opposition. It's like an uncontrollable torrent making its way across uncharted IT territory, propelled by a force that cannot be contained in Isaiah 43:19. God promises, "Behold, I'll do something new. It will now shoot forth." Will you not be aware of this? Can you sense something new rising within you? Each stride is a declaration of not only your perseverance, but also your divine mission. Those who once underestimated you are now compelled to confront the indisputable reality of your development. They are beginning to recognize that there is no box large enough to contain the alteration that has occurred in you. You're no longer walking aimlessly. Every action you take is now a reflection of something higher. A heavenly alignment clears the route ahead of you. As you travel in this newfound alignment, opposition will no longer terrify you. Instead, it strengthens you, sharpening your attention and pressing you toward your goals. Could it be that your trials prepared you for the strength and success you are now experiencing? As Romans 8:28 states, "And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose." Can you believe that the hardships you endured were part of the divine plan to form you into the person you are intended to be? It is time for you to rise, develop, create, and walk in the fullness of who God has always intended you to be. You are the metropolis on the hill, growing brighter with each stride forward. Let nothing dull the brightness that exists within you, for this is your divine moment. And now it's up to you to claim it. Philippians 4:13 reminds us that I can do all things through Christ who empowers me. Are you ready to embrace this fact in your life? To live up to your greatest potential and demonstrate to the world who you were born to be? When the external voices that were formerly so powerful lose their hold on us, we experience a profound and dramatic shift within ourselves. You begin to feel grounded in an unbreakable inner strength, a deep-seated assurance that cannot be shaken. The insatiable want for validation, which was once a continual source of stress and confusion, just evaporates like morning mist under the warm rays of sunlight. In its proper place, there is a luminous clarity, a heavenly comprehension of your worth and purpose that informs every action you perform. Have you ever had a moment where you realized you didn't need the acceptance of others? How did you feel in that moment? Do you no longer feel trapped by cultural standards and implicit pressures? The chains of anticipation that were once so tightly bound are now broken at your feet, powerless to pull you back into the cycle of pleasing others or seeking their praise. This freedom is more than just a shift in thinking. It is a miraculous shift, a transformation that propels you on a road of unwavering purpose. Consider the last time you felt confident in taking a step toward your genuine purpose. Without judgment, what did it feel like? As you move forward, empowered and liberated, the dynamics of control that others previously wielded are reversed. People who previously attempted to influence, manipulate, or dominate you have found their efforts unsuccessful. The power they formerly wielded over you is now hollow and meaningless in light of your newfound independence. This is no longer about your strength. It is God's strength at work in you, guiding you to stand fast on His word. Consider the narrative of Daniel in the lion's den. Despite the king's edict, Daniel was steadfast in his faith. No external threat, no matter how grave, could shake his resolve. What can we learn from Daniel's unshakable belief in God's plan? The subtle weapons of manipulation, whether words meant to hurt, actions meant to control, or silent threats meant to terrify, lose their effectiveness. When faced with the light of your own property, like darkness running before light, these approaches fail, unable to break through the immovable strength that you now possess. Those who use these tactics to elicit a response from you are now disappointed and helpless, since their attempts to guide your direction are no longer effective. Your acts, free from the influence of others, become a powerful declaration of independence. They are louder than any confrontation could possibly be, radiating the strength that can only come from God. This transformation, while intensely personal, does not go ignored. It spreads outward, affecting everyone in your vicinity. Those around you, even if they don't fully understand what's altered since your presence. They sense the relentless energy, the calm and steadfast assurance that announces you are no longer under their influence. This presence is not solely about self-empowerment. It reflects the spiritual force that lives inside you. It's God saying that you are His chosen one, marching freely in His destiny, unaffected by worldly opinions. Have you ever noticed how individuals react differently when they realize you are no longer persuaded by external pressures? It's as if the energy you release affects everything around you. Finally, your journey becomes one of heavenly independence, guided not by the whims of people, but by the unchanging reality of God's call on your life. As you move with this newfound strength, you reflect His light and purpose, demonstrating to the world that, despite external forces' attempts to dominate you, you have been set free. And nothing, words, judgments, and manipulations will never keep you back again. This change causes significant anxiety among individuals who feed on control, forcing them to confront a new world in which their influence has no effect on you. They are forced to face the reality that their hold on your life has lessened, if not completely slipped, in this moment of emancipation. You are free to travel with purpose, without the need to comply or placate others. It is a power so absolute and undeniable that it disturbs people who formerly thought they could control your every move. Have you ever had that moment when the views of others become irrelevant and you realize you are marching in your own strength? This newfound independence is more than just a personal accomplishment. It is a divine manifestation of your true identity, created by God with purpose and design. Your selfhood becomes a declaration, a steadfast commitment to the life you are supposed to live. And it's this proclamation of enthusiasm that forces people to confront the reality that they can no longer influence or govern your decisions. The Bible has examples of divine autonomy, such as Esther standing in front of the king, unshaken and unwavering, knowing she had a higher duty to complete despite the risks. Like Esther, those who once believed they had control may find it intimidating to pursue their actual purpose. The confidence you now possess is not arrogance, but rather a firm awareness of your identity in Christ. It is the same strength that Jesus demonstrated when He remained calm in the face of adversity, walking with steadfast determination towards His goal. His life was a monument to divine purpose, and through Him, you too may stand solid in your mission, just like Jesus, who suffered derision and rejection from others. Your essay will perplex individuals who are accustomed to seeing you controlled by external factors. The next phase is here. This moment, this call is yours. Are you prepared to move forward? To embrace the purpose that God has set for you? Subscribe now, and let's move forward together. The path ahead is one of freedom, strength, and purpose as we let go of the chains of control and step into the fullness of God's design. One that can only be traversed by individuals who are willing to embrace the light of their true calling. When your life aligns with a higher rhythm, you begin to experience profound serenity that is unaffected by the upheaval and volatility that frequently overwhelms individuals around you. This inner serenity is more than just keeping a calm exterior or refraining from reacting in difficult situations. It goes far deeper than that. It is a core calm that is firmly ingrained in your spirit, unwavering and unchanging. Have you ever experienced peace that lasts even in the midst of huge challenges? That is the kind of peace that comes from God's presence in your life, a peace that transcends all comprehension. Philippians 4:7. While some may feel the weight of the world bearing down on them, you remain grounded in something bigger. You go through life with such ease and assurance that others struggle to understand. How can you retain such serenity in the face of so much chaos around you? Is it conceivable that your foundation is not of this world, but rather anchored in the unbreakable strength of God's love? In 46 or 1 verses, the Bible reminds us that God is our refuge and strength and an ever-present assistance in times of difficulty. This is the type of calm that protects you from the turbulence that others may succumb to, as well as the external disruptions that may otherwise overwhelm your spirit. This sense of equilibrium, this profound tranquility, is not fleeting like the waves of life. It stems from a profound connection with a greater power, something beyond our comprehension. How often do we seek calm in the wrong places, only to find it fleeting? True peace, the sort that survives while everything else is in disarray, stems from our relationship with God. It's a relationship that goes beyond the transitory peace that comes from outward circumstances and penetrates deep into your spirit. Jesus said, "Peace," in John 14:27. "I'm leaving with you. My tranquility I grant you. I do not give to you in the same way that the world does." This calm is not fleeting. It is eternal, a gift from Christ that we can keep with us no matter what we encounter. This item is not a fleeting emotion, but rather a state of being rooted on your steadfast faith in God's purpose for your life when storms strike. How would you respond? Do you rely on your own strengths? Or do you believe that God will be with you through all trials? Consider Jesus, who remained calm and in control despite the storm, teaching his disciples to have confidence. His tranquility was not a result of his environment. It reflected his total trust in his Father. When we believe in God like Jesus did, we too can experience this unwavering calm, regardless of the circumstances. In the middle of life's turbulence, when everything around you is crumbling or unsure, you remain strong. And that steadfastness, that peace, becomes an effective witness to the world around you. People will notice the difference and marvel how you stay so calm. What is your source of strength in those situations? You can point them to your unwavering faith. It's not about escaping problems or pretending that life is easy, but about knowing that you're protected by a power stronger than any storm you face. Isaiah 26 verse 3 states that you will protect in perfect tranquility those whose hearts are firm because they trust in you. The peace of God that exists within you is more than simply a shield. It is also a beacon to others, pulling them to the same strength and calm that you have when confronted with the pressures and trials that are intended to destabilize you. Your reaction does not reflect hurry or resistance. Instead, it is a constant grace, an inner peace that dissolves animosity without developing conflict. Have you ever been in a scenario where everything around you seemed to come apart, yet you remain calm? Your ability to remain unshaken in the face of hardship demonstrates something higher than human strength. It is the kind of peace mentioned in Philippians 4 verse 7, which promises that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will protect your hearts and minds in Christ. Jesus. This composition isn't passive. It is an active force that keeps you steady in the storm. Those who once thrived on causing chaos and confusion are now disoriented, unable to agitate or disturb you. How come you remain unaffected when others are caught up in chaos? It's because your basis is based on a deeper, unshakable connection to God rather than ephemeral worldly possessions. This holy peace serves as a shield, keeping you safe from the distractions that would otherwise consume you. Consider the narrative of Jesus in Mark 4:39, where he calmed the storm. He stood up, rebuked the wind, and told the waves to be quiet. The wind went down, and everything was perfectly peaceful. You, like Jesus, have the ability to hush the cacophony around you and walk in a peace that defies rationality because of your faith. The opponents who attempted to manipulate or dominate you through chaos are now imprisoned in the same turmoil that they planned for you. The disruption they intend to cause in your life backfires, leaving them confused and frustrated. Their attempts to unsettle you fail when they are confronted with a tranquility they cannot comprehend. let alone disturb. The Bible demonstrates how God's peace regularly outperforms the enemy's strategies. Psalm 20:35 recalls us, "You set a table for me in the presence of my foes, regardless of the attempts to disrupt your tranquility." God has prepared a place for you to rest and be assured. Every attempt to disrupt your equilibrium emphasizes the great strength of your relationship with God. Your tranquility becomes a powerful testament to divine favor, forcing your adversaries to face their own limitations. What happens when their attempts to agitate you fail? They are left with nothing but their own weakness, as your steadfast serenity demonstrates that their might is ineffective against God's peace. In 2 Corinthians 2:12-9, Paul reminds us, "But he said to me, 'My grace is adequate for you, because my power is perfected in weakness.' This grace, this subtle energy, is your real strength. God's power is at work within you, as your path remains open and unobstructed. You continue forward with determination, unaffected by the storms others may attempt to stir. Your alignment with God's peace enables you to move forward with steadfast conviction, whilst those who strive to manipulate or upset you are exposed for their incapacity to disrupt the heavenly serenity that surrounds you." How frequently do we discover that the tools used by the enemy to destroy us indicate his own defeat? You remain steady and unshaken, a living example of the strength that comes from God's peace, a calm that no one can disturb or decrease. When you align with an infinite source of energy, you will experience a profound connection, one that is completely beyond normal comprehension. This force becomes the cornerstone of your activities, empowering you in ways that are beyond natural comprehension. Have you ever had an energy surge within you, propelling you onward in ways that are beyond explanation? This energy is not simply an abstract concept. It is an actual force that runs through you, boosting your influence and visibility. Jesus mentions this heavenly power in John 14:12. "Very true. I assure you that whomever believes in me will carry out the works I have been doing, as well as greater things, because I am going to the Father." This promise demonstrates that the force that runs through you is part of God's divine purpose, and it goes far beyond human limitations. Though imperceptible, its consequences are clear. As you travel around the globe, you observe how the atmosphere changes in your wake. People who once possessed malicious purpose are now disarmed and nervous in the presence of a power they cannot comprehend. How often do you feel like others react to your presence without you having to say anything? There is obvious strength flowing from within, which cannot be restrained. It commands attention and causes both amazement and discomfort. This is not a cosmetic confidence, but a deep spiritual force that transforms everyone around you. Do you identify this power in your life, which moves quietly but powerfully through you? Those who once tried to challenge or undermine you are now overwhelmed. Their efforts appear small in comparison to the magnitude of what you carry. Their attempts to irritate you appear pointless because the strength you possess is too much for them to challenge. Have you ever pondered why your adversaries never seem to succeed? This strength does not come from within you, but rather from a spiritual source, God Himself. As the Bible says in 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9, "But Jesus told me, 'My grace is sufficient for you. My might is perfected through weakness.'" God's grace manifests this power, and your actions reflect a force far bigger than any individual will. Adversaries recognize the futility of resisting what they cannot understand or imitate. Their unease grows as they understand that this power is beyond their control, making their strategies ineffective. Does this remind you of moments when you felt that, despite everything, God's presence was enough to keep you going? Their strategies fail in the face of heavenly strength, and they are forced to confront their own limitations. This is what happens when you walk in harmony with God's power. Nothing can disturb your peace, since it is rooted in something far beyond human comprehension. Isaiah 54:17 promises that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and you will rebut every voice that accuses you. This link to the divine is both a gift and a responsibility for you, serving as a reminder of your immense potential as a receptacle for this force. Each move you take and decision you make has far-reaching consequences. You are not merely strolling through life, but walking with purpose and the ability to make change. Every action becomes a testimonial to God's presence in your life. How do you envision this heavenly force impacting your life? Each of us possesses divine potential that is intended to have an impact on the world. And as you continue forward, realize that no attempt to diminish you will succeed against something so deeply rooted in a place beyond the tangible. The Bible assures us in Romans 8:31, if God is for us, who can be against us? This pledge guarantees that no power, enemy, or obstacle can withstand the force that pours through you. You are picked not for your own worth, but for God's great plan. You are a part of His plan, and nothing can stop you from achieving your destiny. If you have a deep feeling that you have been chosen, know this: you have arrived to the correct location. You are not alone on this path, and God's strength flows through you. You're destined for greatness. A heightened awareness begins to arise inside you, revealing truths that were previously hidden beneath layers of deception and ambiguity. This is not a transient intuition or passing notion, but a piercing clarity that allows you to see through the smoke and mirrors that others use to conceal their genuine intentions. Have you ever had a moment when something that was previously unclear becomes so vivid and undeniable, so you can no longer ignore it? This is the talent of discernment, the ability to see what others are desperately trying to hide. As Jesus stated in John 8:32, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. This divine clarity frees you from the deceptions that previously clouded your understanding. Do you feel that your awareness of truth has expanded to the point where you can no longer be misled by mere appearances? Facades that people use to rely on to protect themselves or influence others are crumbling under the weight of your sharper insight. Have you ever met someone whose external look or words did not match their true motives, despite your discernment? These facades lose their effectiveness. Unable to withstand your ability to see through them, what was formerly complicated or opaque becomes simple and obvious manipulation tactics. Previously successful, they suddenly lose their grip since they are rendered useless against your ability to comprehend the truth beneath the surface. This is not just an observation of actions. It is an awareness of the deeper currents that guide people's motivations and goals, as stated in 1 Corinthians 2 verse 2:10. These are the things that God has revealed to us through His Spirit. The Holy Spirit explores everything, including God's profound things. You are given supernatural insight to reveal hidden agendas and intentions. How frequently do you sense the underlying truth of a situation, even when it is not expressed aloud? The small facts that others may view as trivial are now strong signals to you, directing your decisions and changing your perception of others around you. Have you ever noticed how even the slightest gestures or words may convey volumes when you are tuned into the truth, yet others may disregard or misinterpret these nuances? You discover that they hold the key to revealing the true narrative. Those who have relied on deception or manipulation are disarmed by this increased knowledge. Their carefully crafted masks begin to come away, revealing weakness that they had tried to conceal. Their unease grows as they realize there is nowhere for their deception to hide. According to Proverbs 12:19, truthful lips remain forever, whereas a lying mouth lasts for a moment. With your unrelenting concentration on the truth, their lies crumble, leaving them exposed and vulnerable. How do you feel when you discover that the truth you possess in your heart is far more powerful than the lies others try to tell? As these illusions collapse, they are left scrambling, unable to recover control. The more they try to hide their motives, the clearer they appear through the lens of your increased awareness. Have you ever witnessed how folks who rely on deception get progressively uncomfortable when their lies are exposed? They can't avoid the truth, and their unease intensifies as the carefully kept facade crumbles before their eyes. With each decision and action you take, you cut right through the confusion they want to create. Your clarity and focus on what is authentic disarm even the most cunning foes, leaving them disoriented and defenseless in the face of reality. In Matthew 10:26, Jesus advises us, "Do not be afraid of them. There is nothing concealed that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be made known." This promise reminds us that the truth will always triumph, no matter how hard someone tries to conceal it. How does it feel to walk confidently, knowing that the truth, no matter how deeply hidden, will eventually surface? The more you walk in this reality, the more you will understand how this heavenly understanding protects, directs, and empowers you. It serves as a shield against the deception that frequently surrounds us, as well as a beacon illuminating the route forward. How does it feel to know you're walking with God's understanding, where nothing can be hidden? Those who thrive on deception may attempt to reclaim power, but their efforts are fruitless. Your ability to discern truth is based on the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, allowing you to handle even the most difficult situations with confidence and calm. In this way, truth becomes your weapon, rendering deceit powerless in your presence. As we read in Ephesians 6:14, "Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist and the breastplate of righteousness in place." The knowledge you carry does more than merely defend you. It prepares you to meet any challenge and disarms those who would try to deceive or hurt you. The clarity you wield becomes a force in its own right, exposing every shade and falsehood. Have you ever experienced a moment when the truth appears to shine so brightly that nothing can escape its light? This clarity you have is more than simply a perception. It is a divine power that uncovers all concealed things and reveals the reality that others frequently strive to conceal. There is a tremendous fascination that emanates from you, attracting both people and chances as if guided by an invisible hand. This magnetic pull is more than just a coincidence or charm. It represents the brilliant energy of divine alignment, effortlessly influencing events in your advantage. In Matthew 7:7, Jesus says that if you ask, you will get. When you connect yourself with God's purpose, you will find what you are looking for. Doors open easily, and resources flow to you without resistance. Have you ever noticed how when you're walking in your purpose, everything seems to fall into place? People are curiously drawn to your presence. Their interest peaked, and their attention was captivated. This attraction cannot be mimicked or learned through manipulation. It is an honest expression of a deeper connection to something far larger than what the world can provide. As you progress in your mission, it becomes evident that this is about more than just personal attractiveness. It is also about the power of heavenly favor. In Proverbs 3:4, it is guaranteed that you will gain favor and a good name in the eyes of God and man. This favor is a natural byproduct of living in accordance with God's will, and it brings people and opportunities into your life in ways that can only be explained by His hand. Resources appear to flow unhindered toward you, as do previously impossible situations. now unfold with natural ease. This is not about striving or struggling to get what you want. It is about walking by faith and trusting God's timing and power. Isaiah 54:17 declares that no weapon made against you shall prosper, and every mouth that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned. With every step you take with faith, you become closer to the destiny that God has already planned for you. Like an eagle soaring above the storm, your rise becomes effortless and apparent. Those who tried to hold you back are now watching in confusion as you march toward a goal they don't understand. Have you ever had that feeling when folks who earlier doubted you notice your development and can't understand how you're succeeding? That is the manifestation of divine favor in your life. This union with a greater power is about surrender, not fight. A commitment to God's will clears the road and accelerates your growth. That discomfort is not about what you have, such as prosperity, blessings, or resources, but about the unwavering energy and peace you carry. Others experience God's presence, whether or not they acknowledge it. As a result, people may feel threatened or confused, unable to understand the source of your strength as you move forward. Blessings and opportunities flood to you, emphasizing the stark contrast between your connection with divine purpose and their reliance on force or manipulation to attain their objectives. The more careful your steps, the greater the pull of the power that guides you. Every move you take, every decision you make, strengthens the divine energy that surrounds you. Even those who oppose you are lured to your development, their opposition giving way to hesitant adoration as they watch the abundance that follows your aim, as recorded in 2031. The Lord is my shepherd. I don't lack anything. Your journey is more than just achieving personal achievement. It is also about motivating others to believe in what is possible. When faith leads the way, your tale becomes a testament to the power of divine alignment, guiding others to follow. Attempts to bring you down highlight the brightness of your rise. Like a lighthouse standing tall in the darkest of nights, you shine with clarity, exposing resistance for what it is, fruitless in the face of divine harmony. This is the time to remain steady and continue going forward with unwavering confidence. Romans 8:31 tells us that if God is for us, who can be against us when God guides our every step? No one can stop what has been set in motion by a greater power. This is just the beginning. Continue traveling boldly, knowing that the path ahead is full with rewards, possibilities, and divine favor. Step forward. This is your opportunity to shine. God chose your existence, and it contains a great gift. A gift of exceptional clarity and insight. This clarity is neither a gut feeling or a momentary moment of insight. It is a divine capacity to see beneath the surface layers and understand the true essence of others as you go through life. You have an extraordinary capacity to detect the hidden intents of others around you with stunning accuracy. It's as if you can look beneath people's masks, revealing their true intentions, whether good or harmful. Do you ever feel like you can tell when something is wrong even when no one else does? This is not a coincidence. The Creator gave you the gift of discernment, which allows you to negotiate the complexity of human interactions with extraordinary insight. The Bible is filled with examples of God's chosen ones receiving this very gift. Consider the account of King Solomon, who asked God for wisdom to lead over his people in the 1 King st. 9. Solomon said, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and distinguish between right and wrong." God replied by giving him not only insight, but also the capacity to read other people's hearts and motivations. Solomon's wisdom became a legend, and people from all over the world sought his advice. Your discernment, like Solomon's, enables you to distinguish truth from deception and good from wrong with such clarity that the falsehoods others attempt to conceal fall before your gaze. This heavenly clarity influences how you make decisions and connect with others, whereas previously you may have been uncertain or reluctant. Knowing the truth has given me unshakable confidence. You no longer have to question the loyalty or intentions of those around you, since the hidden truths are set open before you. In Matthew 7:16, Jesus says that you can know them by their fruit. This text tells you that your increased awareness provides you the ability to perceive people for who they truly are, whether they belong in your life or not. It's as if you have an invisible wall that only individuals with good intentions can cross. Those who want to deceive or manipulate must disclose themselves and retreat because they can no longer hide behind a veneer. Can you recall a time when you noticed someone was not being true to you? That moment of insight is a gift from God. The impact of this supernatural revelation extends well beyond your own connections. It undermines the basic underpinnings of dishonest systems, exposing the manipulative power of those who rely on secrecy and deception. People who previously thrived on hidden intentions are suddenly exposed and deprived of their authority. In Proverbs 19 verse 5, it states, "False witnesses will not go unpunished, and those who spread lies will not walk free." Your discernment causes them to acknowledge the futility of their acts, leaving them vulnerable as their schemes and deceptions unravel. They are left with only the truth. While you move forward, covered and guided by God's wisdom, this insight accomplishes more than merely keep you safe. It empowers you. It boosts your authority and prevents deception from taking root in your presence. Every time you reveal a lie, it's as if a mirror is held up to the liar, forcing them to confront their own dishonesty. Meanwhile, you proceed along your route with clarity and purpose, knowing that God is watching out for you and that you are walking in His truth. The clarity you possess is evidence of your divine calling, a reminder that you have been chosen to walk in the light, seeing clearly through the darkness of deception and navigating life with unshakable confidence. Have you ever considered how much of your life is genuinely influenced by God's wisdom? Could it be that the clarity you're experiencing is part of a divine plan, guiding you to accomplish your destiny on earth free of the confusion and deception that so often fog our world? You are His chosen one, and this clarity is part of His wonderful plan for you. A great energy stirs deep within you, fueled by unwavering determination, propelling you onward with an intensity unlike anything you've ever experienced. This is more than just ambition or a passing desire. This is a never-ending desire based in the very essence of who you are, one that ignites a profound feeling of purpose and cannot be extinguished. Have you ever had a moment when the problems ahead seemed insurmountable, yet something deep inside you drove you forward regardless? Obstacles that once appeared insurmountable vanish, helpless against the force of your will. You may have hesitated, doubted, or frightened the challenges ahead, but nothing can now stop you. Can you feel how the force propelling you grows stronger with each step, brushing aside obstacles as if they never existed? Each challenge, once daunting, is now a chance for progress. This unifier, this heavenly energy, expands as you pursue the goals God has set for you. This inner resolve encompasses more than just willpower. It is a divine force that cannot be shaken. Do you ever wonder where the strength comes from? When you feel like you've hit your limit, Psalm 18:39 says to you, "Give me strength for the battle you made. Those that stand up against me fall beneath me." God picked just as King David, and he overcame enormous difficulties with unflinching faith. Your determination derives from a higher calling that drives you onward despite the obstacles you meet. What if you embraced the same unwavering commitment when confronted with challenges? The harder people try to block your path, the more determined you become, and the barriers they erect crumble away as if they never existed. Those who try to stop you are overwhelmed by the sheer power of your will, as if they are confronted with an unknown force. The more they resist, the less effective their attempts become. Can you remember a time when someone tried to stop you only to see their attempts crumble before you? With each step, you become stronger. Your resolve strengthened in the face of hardship. This inner power grows into an indestructible force, unstoppable in its pursuit of divine purpose. This motivation isn't only about reaching goals. It is about achieving a higher purpose that goes beyond your own desires and ambitions. In Philippians 3:14, the Apostle Paul writes, "I press on toward the goal of winning the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." Have you ever considered what your ultimate mission in life is, Paul? You are following a divine calling, a mission that will not be derailed by any difficulties or setbacks. This desire, based on a feeling of higher purpose, creates a clear route, and every move you take is perfectly aligned with that goal. Do you understand how your every decision influences the trajectory of your journey? The force behind you is more than just a will to succeed. It fulfills God's plan for you. With each difficulty, you become more aligned with His will, and the impediments that threaten to derail you lose their potency. Those who oppose you and attempt to obstruct your path are left in awe. They don't understand where your strength comes from or how it grows in the face of adversity. The more they try to oppose you, the more obvious it becomes that your power is not of this world. It is founded in something far larger. Do you often wonder what distinguishes you from those around you who appear to struggle under comparable? It is God's power acting through you, directing your every move. This was not a consequence of chance or coincidence. It is a profound connection with divine purpose, a synchronization of your actions with God's will. Proverbs 16 verse 9 states that humans plan their route in their hearts, but the Lord determines their steps. Can you notice how your life runs more effortlessly when you follow God's will? Each decision you make appears to flow naturally, as if it were predetermined, and each step you take is perfectly aligned with God's larger plan for your life. As you progress, the resistance of others weakens in the face of your commitment. They are taken aback by their failure to obstruct your path. Regardless of how much they try, they can't stop the onward motion, which is propelled by a force far larger than they can grasp. How does it feel to know that, regardless of the challenges, God's strength is the ultimate force in your life? In the end, their antagonism just emphasizes the contrast between their transient aims and the unwavering purpose that propels you. Every step you make is a manifestation of divine intent, seamlessly connected with a higher order and propelling you towards your destiny. Each challenge simply helps to highlight the strength and force of the mission God has assigned to you. And as you go, you will discover that no impediment, objection, or resistance can ever stand in the way of the holy path that is ahead of you. What do you suppose would happen if you accepted this persistent desire, this unstoppable power in all aspects of your life? For I know what plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper rather than harm you, plans for giving you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. These statements are more than just a reassuring assurance. They are the cornerstone of your adventure, which is unfolding in perfect time, guided by a divine force far greater than you could have dreamed. Have you ever paused to think that every moment of your life, even the most difficult ones, is part of a grand plan? Opportunities arise just when needed, and roadblocks vanish as if they never existed. This is not a coincidence. This is heavenly alignment, Your journey is unfolding just as it should, and those chosen by God, like you, follow His guidance every step of the way. As you progress, those around you, whether allies or foes, observe the smooth flow of your journey. You are not responsible for your own progress. It is propelled by a force that exceeds human strength. Allies admire your ability to flow smoothly through life, while foes become irritated as their attempts to intervene fail against a strength they cannot understand. How many times have you encountered obstacles just to discover that your path clears easily? This is the divine plan for your life, a force that protects and propels you. Your every step is guided, boosting your determination and allowing you to accomplish more with less effort. Can you understand now that your success is the outcome of the divine alignment of your goal with God's plan, rather than hard labor alone? Others fail to understand that your path is not exclusively driven by effort. It is defined by faith and purpose. Just like Esther, who found herself in a position of authority for a bigger cause than herself. Your rise is not by coincidence, but rather the result of a higher calling. Those who oppose you are left uneasy as they witness your relentless rise. Their plans fail, demonstrating their incapacity to prevent what has already been divinely set in motion. This isn't personal success. This is the expression of God's plan via you. Every step forward you take is a real testament to the power of faith and trust. Do you ever notice how your way clears in the midst of resistance? It serves as a reminder that God works in ways that humans cannot see. Your journey is more than just a destination. It is an example, a guiding light for those around you. It inspires others while demonstrating the futility of opposition. The road ahead is not just clear, but brimming with opportunities tailored specifically to you. As you move onward, are you ready to embrace what God has planned for you? Knowing that the best is yet to come. Challenges no longer have the ability to defeat you. Instead, they serve as a testing ground for your steadfast tenacity. What may have crushed others empowers you, transforming every challenge into a chance for development. Your trials, far from diminishing, you improve and uplift yourself, demonstrating the depth of your strength. Have you ever noticed how adversity makes you stronger? Adversity does not reduce you. It transforms you into an unstuck force. Those who expect you to falter are taken aback when you rise above every difficulty with renewed vigor, expressing a power they cannot grasp. Each hardship serves as a testament to your inner strength, a reminder of how God's strength lifts you above human constraints. The ability to turn adversity into success conveys a powerful message. No opponent can stop your momentum. In Romans 8:37, the Apostle Paul describes his own personal experience with this. No, in all these things, we are more than conquerors thanks to Him who loves us. You, like Paul, are doing more than merely surviving. You're prospering. Your presence becomes a glowing example of perseverance, exuding power that overcomes any gloom. Both allies and foes are forced to acknowledge the indisputable power that supports you. Your opponents, disappointed by their inability to stymie your development, watch in amazement as their attempts only serve to fuel your ascension. What does it feel like to know that every attempt to hold you back actually pulls you forward? These victories are not purely personal. They are evidence of alignment with a greater goal, which lifts you above the level of ordinary problems. While others struggle with life's obstacles, you use them to demonstrate your connection to something far greater than yourself. Those who wanted you to fail are now seeing the consequences of their actions, increasing the momentum of your ascension. As the psalmist writes in Psalm 23, verse 5, "You make a table for me in the presence of my foes." Even those who oppose you are watching your victory and their attempts to thwart it. only emphasize the potency of the divine guidance that leads you. So, are you prepared to face the future with confidence, knowing that no force can stop you? This enduring strength you possess displays a stark contrast between a life led by divine purpose and one tethered to transitory ambition. Your triumphs are more than just personal. They serve as unmistakable proof that you are protected, enabled, and guided by a force far bigger than any earthly obstacle. Have you ever felt a deep sense of inner conviction that you are on the correct path? This is the divine force at work in you, guiding you to a destiny that no obstacle can derail. Your resilience is more than just enduring. It is about thriving in the face of adversity. Feel the call, the invitation to realize your own potential. Nothing can stop you from pursuing a bigger mission than yourself. So, why not take that move now? Subscribe now, and let us climb together in faith and power. Every step you take bears significant weight, a sense of purpose that cannot be discounted or ignored. Your actions are no longer unplanned or transient. They are purposefully formed by a higher intent that pervades everything around them. Do you ever get the impression that your every move is guided, as if each movement is part of a larger plan? This is the heavenly alignment that separates you. Every decision you make has a purpose, and every action you take has the potential to generate long-term change. You are no longer wandering aimlessly like people who lack direction. You are on a quest with a distinct vision that sets you apart from others. This divine insight is not limited to the destination. It is present in every step as you walk in accordance with God's plan for your life. And just as Jesus moved with a definite purpose, each action and decision mirrored his Father's intention. You too are empowered to walk with the same authority and focus as you progress. The contrast between your unshakable goal and your adversary's aimlessness is glaring. Those who earlier attempted to challenge or outperform you now find their efforts futile, almost comical in comparison to the power of your resolve. Have you ever seen anybody struggle to keep up, only to learn that they had never completely united with their goal? This is how your alignment affects those around you. Their efforts to distract or obstruct you now appear shallow and futile. Their lack of direction becomes clear, and they are left vulnerable as they attempt to match your drive. Unable to comprehend or fight the force driving your actions, your clarity becomes a mirror, reflecting their disorder as you continue forward with steadfast focus. They are compelled to see the hopelessness of their struggle. Your clarity is their uncertainty. Your strengths are their weaknesses. This alignment does more than just keep you moving. It attracts others to you. Allies who witness your passion are inspired to follow, buoyed by your steadfast commitment. Have you ever observed how your strength draws others who are looking for purpose? They perceive you as a model of unshakable faith and are drawn to join you on your path. Meanwhile, adversaries feel the pain of comparison as they reflect on the futility of their own endeavors. Their opposition merely emphasizes the power and authority behind your objective, demonstrating that they cannot compete with the force that drives you. God's strength is what pulls you ahead, not your own. This is clear to everyone who is watching. Each step you take strengthens the unmistakable power of your mission. There is no question about where your strength originates from. Every action declares your allegiance with a greater power, which propels you with unquestionable authority. This is what it means to live a life based on God's strength. The Lord is my rock, fortress, and deliverer. My God is my rock in which I seek refuge, my shield, and the horn of my own stronghold. Psalm 18, verse 2. Do you ever sense comfort in knowing that God is your rock and fortress? This is not a passive belief. Active life, faith, and heavenly protection surround you like an impenetrable fortress. No matter what problems arise, your faith protects you from danger, allowing you to proceed unencumbered. Those that challenge you shortly realize their attempts are fruitless. Resistance simply reveals the force that supports you. Can you feel how every attack on you pushes you closer to your goal? This holy faith is more than just a defense. It is the source of unwavering inner strength. Just as Jesus stood steadfast against temptation in the desert, so do you, founded in the unchangeable truth of God's word. When others falter, you rise knowing that you are solidly grounded in the power of something far larger than yourself. This is the strength of being in tune with the divine, and it cannot be shaken. The confidence emerging from the base of your existence is evident and unnerving. Those who are willing to put it to the test. Have you ever observed how, as you become more steadfast, individuals around you appear to falter? Attempts to stymie your growth only backfire, forcing them to confront their own flaws. This is not confidence based on transient emotions or feelings of assurance. It is a confidence founded on eternal power, which cannot be shaken. This divine basis strengthens with each struggle, turning difficulties into triumphs. Can you feel how each challenge you face just helps to strengthen you, preparing you for even more success? Those who try to harm you are perplexed, their attempts failing against the impregnable shield of divine protection. It's as if they can't fathom the force that protects you. The more they try to undermine you, the more their plans disintegrate. In this challenging world, you do more than just live. You thrive knowing that no force can overcome what God has built. Can you imagine how the world around you must appear to alter as you press forward with such steadfast determination? The route ahead of you is unassailable, characterized by unwavering confidence. This is the power of supernatural protection in action. Immovable, steadfast, and unshakable. This strength serves more than just a protective function. It emphasizes the truth of your connection to something higher than yourself. As their strategies disintegrate, adversaries are forced to acknowledge their defeat reluctantly. They understand the limits of their reach. How often have you encountered those who oppose you? Retreat, unable to grasp the source of your power. Your faith's integrity shines tall, undeniable, and unwavering as a reminder that no external force can ever threaten the strength you possess within. It's a quiet, unyielding force that not only defines your resilience, but also demonstrates the futility of resistance. Your unshakable faith shines like a beacon to all who observe. Those who support you are drawn in, while those who oppose you are left to see their attempts fail in the face of your strength. The time has come for you to fully embody your purpose, where your potential merges with an unstoppable power, propelling you to create beyond all limitations. Do you feel the magnitude of this shift? The energy you now possess is multiplied by forces far bigger than yourself, resulting in a synergy that renders your vision unstoppable. The essence of your focus and purpose is so strong that opposition crumbles beneath it. The walls that once held you back fall away, and you are free to chart your own course. What has been holding you back is no longer a barrier. The path ahead of you is now clear, and you are unstoppable. The works you bring forth as a result of this tremendous alignment will have an impact on people in ways you may not fully understand. What once seemed impossible now flows naturally, propelled by the strength you carry and the alignment you have gained. Can you see how the cosmos appears to conspire in your favor? As you truly embrace this position, how will you ensure that the seeds you plant not only take root, but also thrive? Your journey becomes a real example of the limitless possibilities that arise when intention and energy are perfectly matched. Each step you take is a new chapter in the story of your purpose, one that will change not only your life but the lives of people around you. And as you move on, knowing that no power can overcome your inner strength and clarity, you will continue to inspire and improve the world around you. God's chosen ones must understand that their existence is not by luck. You were divinely chosen and orchestrated to carry out a particular task in this world. Everything you've experienced, every step you've taken, has been part of God's larger plan for your life. Hold on to this reality and walk with confidence, knowing that you are here for a reason, guided by Him. If this message has touched your heart, please consider helping this channel with super thanks. Your gifts, no matter how large or small, make a difference and allow us to continue sharing these vital messages. But whether you donate or not, I want to offer my heartfelt appreciation for your time and support. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below. I'd love to know your comments on this message and how it connects with you. May God abundantly bless you as you continue to walk in His will for your life.